When people hear the phrase nature superpower, it can sound like a slogan, something big and distant, but when you sit with it quietly, it begins to point to a very personal question about how we survive together on this planet. The context behind this idea is not only Brazil or forests or policy, it is the simple fact that much of our daily life depends on things we do not pay for: air, water, stable weather, soil that grows food. These things feel free until they start to disappear, and when they disappear, everything else becomes harder to hold. The first surface insight is about value. On the surface, the problem looks like trees being cut and land being cleared, but beneath that is a deeper issue of how value is measured. When land is worth more cleared than standing, destruction becomes logical, even if it is harmful. In daily life, we see this pattern everywhere. Time is spent on urgent tasks instead of meaningful ones because urgency is rewarded. Care work is ignored because it does not show up on balance sheets. In the same way, forests are ignored because their benefits are quiet and spread over time. The surface lesson is that we destroy what we do not price, but that is only the beginning. The second insight sits underneath and challenges a hidden assumption. The assumption is that protection and progress are opposites, that you must choose between growth and care. This belief has shaped many policies and personal decisions. People accept long hours because they believe rest will slow them down. Companies pollute because they believe responsibility costs too much, but this assumption collapses when you look closely. Protecting nature is not stopping progress, it is changing its direction. In daily life, this is like choosing healthy routines that feel slower at first but prevent collapse later. The hidden shift is realizing that damage is often more expensive than care. The third insight moves to structure, not intention. The scale of the Amazon makes it clear that enforcement alone cannot solve the problem. Policing vast systems without changing incentives leads to endless struggle. This pattern repeats in many areas. Rules without alignment create resistance, whether in schools, workplaces, or families. If the structure rewards the wrong behavior, people follow the reward, not the rule. So the structural insight is that systems must be redesigned so the best outcome is also the easiest one. When standing forests create jobs, income, and pride, then protection becomes normal, not heroic. This structural change requires new markets, new tools, and new stories. The reframing comes when nature is no longer seen as background, but as infrastructure. Just like roads or power grids, ecosystems support everything else. When infrastructure fails, economies suffer. When forests fail, food, water, and climate fail. This perspective shifts nature from charity to strategy. In daily life, this reframing helps us see rest as productivity, relationships as resilience, and learning as investment. Applying this to everyday life may feel distant, but it is not. We all manage resources, time, energy, attention. If we extract without renewal, we burn out. If we invest in renewal, we last longer. Communities, workplaces, and families function the same way. The optional deepening is about identity. When a country places nature at the center of who it is, people begin to act differently. Pride changes behavior, stories change choices. This happens in small groups too. When a team values care openly, people support each other. When a family values presence, routines shift. Identity shapes action more than rules ever could. As we hold all of this together, the idea of a nature superpower becomes less about dominance and more about wisdom. It is about learning to align economy with ecology so survival does not depend on destruction. It is about choosing systems that reward care instead of collapse, and it is about understanding that what feels free is often priceless. So as you think about the systems you are part of, the work you do, and the resources you rely on, the quiet question to carry forward is, where might valuing what sustains you change the choices you make before damage becomes visible?